Hello and welcome. My name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today and welcome to card 2 for our stamp set of the week, Aspen Grove. It's this beautiful 12 image stamp set. It's all of the aspen barks and then you've got 3 of the wonderful foliage to go over the top. So let's have a look at the card for today, which is this one here. So you've got lots going on really, even though it's quite a simple card. You've got an embossed folder impression on here. This 2 are flat, this one's raised. So let's get on and bring in the supplies. Okay, so what have we got? Let's have a look. We have got Daffodil Delight, which measures 8 inches by 5 3/4. I have a piece of Melon Mumbo, which measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. I have Coastal Cabana. There are 3 of these. They measure 1 5/8 by 2 5/8. And then they've got white counterparts, which measure 1 1/2 by 2 1/2. Then I have a sentiment strip, which is 3/4 of an inch by 5 inches. And then a sentiment actually for stamping on is 1/2 inch by 4 3/4. So as usual, we will go with the stamping first, and I've forgotten my sentiment again, so I'm going to use the sentiment from the Simply Said, and it's the happy birthday. There we go. Let's bring a block in. This one will do. No, it's a bit small. Let's get a slightly bigger one. This one will do. There we go. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to start with the stamping and then we'll move on to creating the card. So the first thing to do is bring in the early espresso and let's get that one sorted. So I am going to stamp 3 of the aspen branches or aspen trunks onto here. So just going to stamp it up and then work out roughly where you're going to put it. There's 1, 2, and then 3. So that's those out of the way. Put those a second. I'm going to bring in my happy birthday. So ink that up. And I'm aiming for that to be halfway. There we go, we've got the half a birthday. Right, those 2, that can go aside. Close this one up. And now we're going to put some coloured foliage onto the trees. So first of all, the first one's going to be a Melon Mumbo. Ink that up. And I'm just going to bring it over. There's the Melon Mumbo. It's a very arty kind of look to these rather than, you know, your normal tree with your leaves. Okay, so the next one is Coastal Cabana. So this is again a slightly different leaf. Now that's the Coastal Cabana. And the next one will be Daffodil Delight. I might need to put 2 of these on. Let's have a look. So we're going to go 1 bit there and 1 bit there. Actually, I might just, there we go. Gives you a bit more. All right, so they're the 3. So that's the stamping out of the way. And now we're going to take our Melon Mumbo. I've got a embossing folder. So this one is the birchwood embossing folder. Make sure that your line from the Stampin' Up is facing up with you. You then place in your piece of cardstock, run that through the cut and emboss machine, and you come back with this lovely effect of bark. Very good. Right, so let's now put everything together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half, but for those of you that wish to, you can score at the 4-inch mark. Straight down, straight across. Normally you'd put a white piece on, but now we are going to put our bark effect on, and I'm going to put this on with the multi-purpose. Make sure that it is really covered, because obviously it is quite bumpy. Let's put that down there. Okay, let's hold that together. Perfect. Make sure the glue is all over. Smear it across. There we go. That's that one. Now we've got our 3 to put in. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, is attach the white images first. And then the happy birthday, if I can pick it up, will go onto there. Right, so let's see. Let's get these flat down. Let's use the Stampin' Seal. Right, so I'm just going to do... There we go. And that fits there. That's one. Two. There we go, that's that one. Right, now let's get our sentiment on happy birthday. I'll just do a little bit. There we go. Pull that over. And the sentiment strip comes into here. There we go. Right, so now all we need to do is put it onto our card base. So I'm going to make sure that you've got the gap at the top and the side are the same, and do the same with that one. Okay, glue those down using the multi-purpose. Now you want to make sure that you've got a nice gap, but not too big, because you need to get that sentiment strip in there. Excuse me. Let's get the second one in. There we go. Now the third one will go nicely in the middle, but we're going to use our dimensionals to raise that one up. Turn that one over, and I'm just going to put one in each corner. Actually, I think because it's so bumpy, I'm going to put one in the middle as well, just to make sure it all sticks down. There we go. And then this sentiment will go flat down, and there'll be a gap either side. Okay, so let's just squiggle our glue. That way we've got a little bit of wriggle room to make sure that either side is as even as possible. Make sure straight. There we go, and straight down. Right, and that is as quickly as that. No messing around in today's card. So these ones I hope you like. We will be back on Friday with a funky fold, so don't miss that. But whatever you do for the rest of the day, have a lovely time and happy crafting. Take care. Bye.